Rugby Union. We are going to Swila Short, but Swila Short is going to tell us the details on what happened to the resignation of Sasha Mtai, who was the former president of the Kenya Rugby Union. But now they have a new sheriff. The new sheriff is, of course, one and only Harriet Okech, that is now the president or the chairperson of the Kenya Rugby Union. So as we continue to tell you about this, all this about what is happening in the rugby industry, of course, Shitera and Isia have said the players have come out and talking about this, talking about what is happening there. Things are not going very well. But again, as we go into Swila Short, Swila is going to give us details on why Sasha Mtai resigned. This is the Swila's Short.
Harriet Okech is the new sheriff in town, at least when it comes to rugby. She was selected the new chairperson of the Kenya Rugby Union just days after Alexander Sasha Mtai stepped down some 2 weeks ago. Mtai, regarded by allies as a gentleman and a man who gets things done, but seen by critics as a lone ranger, resigned during a special general meeting held at the Kenya Rugby Union headquarters. In his statement, he said his decision was guided by the need to protect his integrity, adding that there were values he could not compromise on. He pointed out that he had, quote unquote, read the mood in the room, end of quote, and felt a majority of the board members were determined to oust him. His resignation, while dramatic, was not entirely unexpected. It echoed that of his mentor, Mwangi Muthee, who also stepped down midway through his term in 2014. Before bowing out, Sasha's tenure had been riddled with boardroom wrangles. His critics accused him of conflict of interest and unilateral decision-making. He, however, dismissed the claims, insisting it was simply, quote-unquote, corruption fighting back. But here's the bigger issue. How do we reform the Kenya Rugby Union Board to spare future chairpersons the turmoil of internal power plays? How do we ensure the board is accountable and transparent? Who oversees the overseer? It is imperative to note that the new KRU chairperson, Harriet Okech, it is important to note that Harriet Okech appreciates this problem and has earmarked a constitutional review as one of the key goals so as to decentralize power from the board. Every stakeholder in the union, from the players sweating it out on the pitch to the coaches and administrators, must be subjected to proper governance and scrutiny. It is time for rugby stakeholders to revisit the KRU constitution and seriously consider introducing term limits even for board members. Just as the Sport Act envisions term limits for federation heads and club officials, the KRU board should also have limits on how long one can serve. In my view, no board member should serve more than 4 years. Prolonged tenures often breed self-preservation and entrench power, which ultimately harms the sport. Additionally, it's time for those entrusted with the management of rugby to understand the magnitude of their calling, to serve the game, not personal interests. It doesn't matter how many times we change the union's leadership or impeach the chairperson. What stakeholders truly want is a thriving sport marked by accountability, sound financial practices, robust feeder systems, improved facilities, and above all, performance on the pitch. Across the globe, ex-internationals, gallant men and women who built the game with their sweat and sacrifice are now sitting in boardrooms, protecting the very game they played for and the gains made. It's time for our own legends to do the same and answer the call to leadership. That is my shot.